Where have I been? I don't know. I've been somewhere these last few months. I certainly have. Maybe I just got lost in my flow. Someone quick, find me, pull me back. Flowdreaming.
It's a show where we talk about the power of your mind
To change your world around you.
to literally affect
The fabric of your reality.
We talk about this feeling of hope
And joy.
and relief. And that is what being aware of your flow does. It gives you a feeling of power again in your lives.
Breathe.
I'm Summer McStravick, and welcome to another episode of Flowdreaming.
All right. On a more serious note, welcome everyone to episode number 615 of Flowdreaming, How to Pick Yourself Back Up / Why I Stopped Podcasting. So you guys know I try to be real candid with you in this show, right? I show you what I'm looking at, what I'm playing with, what I'm going through, what I've learned. And I think, just as a tool for personal discovery, the fact that you can go back and listen to 14 years of my own personal growth documented through this podcast. One, it's kind of highly embarrassing, especially looking back, 2005. But it's also really revealing. And I think that the fact that I'm sharing this with you, ups, downs, successes, failures, health challenges, firings, new businesses, everything, gives you a way to glimpse my life and maybe, I don't want to say compare it to yours, but, you can see where, oh, I've done that and I've felt that and she's done this and we've both done this. It's a point of reflection. So it's not just you now, it's us. And if it's us, it's probably everyone else too. And this is the biggest part of growing your thinking. So I'm going to tell you where we are here as we wrap up a year, wrap up a decade. Crazy. And also where I've been for the last 3 months, kind of what happened to me. Why, after 14 years of continuous podcasting, did I just stop without a word for 3 months? And I've been laying in bed at night thinking about this too. Like, am I all, dried up? I got nothing more to say? No, that's not what it was. So we'll start with some practical, and then I'll show you what I've been doing to kind of pull myself back up out of where I've been. Practical points. I know this sounds kind of strange, but in June and July, iTunes changed a lot about their podcast structure. Podcasts, if you guys don't know it, are going so big right now. And in fact, last year, I opened up a podcasting website in flowradio.com and brought a lot of beautiful new young podcasters out into the world through it. So podcasting is going through a revolution. And when iTunes changed the way that they showcased and picked podcasts, now Flowdreaming has been showing up on the front page of iTunes for year after year after year. It hasn't moved position. It's always been in the top, 10 to 20 first page when you go into spirituality, alternative health, all of these categories. And then suddenly one day, I wasn't there. Like I was nowhere. You couldn't find me without literally typing in the name Flowdreaming. I rocked back in my chair and I thought, oh my God, what has happened? People must hate me. Oh my goodness, I must have just dropped off the face of the earth. And where did all of my listeners go? It took me a little bit to figure this out. Everybody was still there. Everyone's still listening. But iTunes decided to shake things up. And shake it they did. So this feeling I'd had of I'm liked, I'm adored, I'm enjoyed, what I offer gives value, and it shows up by, being right there on the front page. That was just kind of ripped out from under me, the feeling of that. I had no more external validation, which is something you hear me talk about a lot. And then I had to go figure out, well, how do I get back there? Because frankly, most people at this point have learned and discovered flow dreaming through the podcast, not through the books, not through my lecturing, not through my webinars and me school and so forth, but they've learned. You probably stumbled across me via my podcast. Good chance of it. So I had to figure out, well, how do I get back there so people can keep finding me? And I began to look around. I began to research, stop recording my shows for a bit. And what I found that every single other person out there was also asking the same question. It was so new, so fresh. No one had a clue what to do, except there are a few clues. But these were just clues. The biggest thing was, how do I keep going when I'm really unsure if anyone cares? And I'm sharing this with you because this is a question we all ask ourselves in everything that we do when we co-create, when we manifest. I want to manifest something. I want to create something. I want to share something. I want to help. But does anyone care? Does anyone listen? Is anyone out there? So this is what stopped me podcasting, going through this kind of mental mind bending. I was discouraged. The other thing that came in is that I felt like, gosh, I've done 614 episodes. That's a lot. And they're not all interviews, right? Interview shows are kind of easier to do because when you're interviewing someone, you can kind of kick back and just listen and follow and ask the good, pertinent, juicy questions. But my show is about teaching you. It's about sharing a viewpoint. It's about sharing mindset. It's about showing you how to co-create with me. It's flow dreaming with me. That means every time we talk, something new has to come out. And I began to wonder, what do I have to teach here, right? I'm teaching it in me school. I'm teaching it in Born to Make. And am I just reteaching the same things on my show? So again, I had to walk backward a bit and remember, going back. When I began this show, something I said over and over and over is, hey folks, I am learning about this manifesting stuff. I'm learning about co-creating. You know, I'm surrounded by and partnering up with some really big, amazing people. I'm just drinking everything in like a sponge. My own natural gifts are coming out. But I'm just going to share with you what this experience is like. And we will find the answers together. I will be the one in the cave at the front with the flashlight. Everybody else, I'll show you where to watch your step and where all the good-looking stuff to find is in this gorgeous cave of life. And then over time, as I started to really learn more and practice more and practice more and practice more, I became less a searcher and more of a teacher, an instructor. Here is what I've learned. Here is how you do it. Here is what's happening. Here is why this is going on. And that is a shift, right? That's a real shift from seeker to teacher. And what happened this summer is that I realized I'm becoming a seeker again. I'm becoming a seeker again. The things that I want to share with you, I have shared. The things that I'm starting to question and be curious about, well, that's what's coming up in me and in my life. The seeking. And I had to remember what that felt like and how to do it and not be the teacher. Not have to know all the answers all the time, but instead learn to ask the right questions. So with these two factors swirling around in me, you can see why I took a very abrupt, non-scheduled break from my podcasting life. And now I'm back. And I have a few solutions, a few ideas, and I'd love your help. And I'm straight up asking for your help. Because I wanted you to know where I've been and what I'm doing to come back as the seeker, the searcher, and yet someone that you can still hold my hand, and I'll show you what ground I already know. My request for you is really simple. It's practical, and it has to do with solving the iTunes problem. I need you to open your phone. Maybe it's already open. That's how you're listening. I need you to open the podcast app on your phone. In iTunes, currently, it's a little purple app. In Android, I'm not exactly sure. But next to each episode, there's a little download button. Can you click that for 5 episodes? Just download 5 episodes. You don't have to listen to them, but just hit the download so that you have them. They're there on your phone. If you've already got all the most recent ones, scroll back, find some older ones. Download, 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 download. When you're done, if you don't care to listen, you can go ahead and erase them. But iTunes is going to feel that, especially if a lot of you are doing it at the same time. And they're going to say, oh, well, the show that we, kind of downplayed, looks like people are still enjoying it. And this will be highly, highly relevant and meaningful to me. The next thing I want to ask of you is to leave a review on iTunes. Do you like the show? Does it help you? Do you enjoy the evolution of the show? Do you enjoy some of the flow dreams that I do in the show occasionally? What does the show do for you? How does it make you feel? If you leave a comment or review, I'm going to create a special shout out list on my Facebook page, iloveflowdreaming.com. That's my group of beautiful flow dreamers and energy co-creators and people who just want to go big and succeed, right? Conscious creators, we're all there. I'm going to create a special shout out section where I will call you out, my list of golden warriors, those of you who left a review. I will shout out a thank you to whatever review name you've given. But I want to see your name there. And I want to see you in that list of really good company. Those are the 2 things that you can do. Download 5 episodes right now and leave a review or comment on iTunes. So, how am I picking myself back up? Well, you can see it in action. I'm actually reaching out and I'm asking for help. Your help. It's sort of the give back, right? It's the thank you, Summer. You've done a lot listening to this show, at least I hope. What can I do for you? Well, it's simple. It's very easy. Now, I'm going to keep working on this dilemma, of course. And I know I can do it, and we can do it. So when you pick yourself back up again, one of the first things you have to do is humble yourself enough to reach out to the people who care about you and say, hey, I need your help right now. I need your help. I'm not so big I can do it all by myself, all on my own. In fact, if anything, the last few years of my life and growing businesses and companies has shown me that the biggest companies, the biggest lights, the biggest names out there in the world, they've done it with other people's help. They have not done it by themselves. So I ask that of you. Now, the second thing has to do with me being a seeker. So to start that process, how I'm coming back, notice how I'm picking practical solutions. Model that. Second thing I did is I posted in my Facebook group yesterday, and I said, what do you want me to talk about? What do you need to know? What are you curious about? What answers can we seek together that's going to make your life better, more beautiful, easier, more flowing, more productive, more abundant? What? And my God, a lot of you answered beautiful, wonderful, highly relevant suggestions. And what it does is it breaks me out of my own mindset, which is, well, I've already talked about everything. Obviously not, because you have things that you have not heard from me. And I need to wake up and listen to what you're asking for. And so I am. This is how we become seekers together. And you get to be jolly entertained on your drive to work. So I've gone through this list, and I'm still going through this list, and I have plotted out my next 20-some episodes based on what you're asking for. And sometimes what you're asking for, I say, oh, I know that. I'll share it again, but I'm going to share it in a different way. And some things you're asking for, I say, I don't know that, but I'm really curious too. Let's go find it. So the way that you pick yourself back up to go back again to the theme of our episode together is you identify what's going on. Sometimes that part doesn't happen immediately. It took me 3 months to realize I was discouraged and not really as sure as I used to be. So then I had to come up with, how do I fix that? What do I do? And my answers ended up being, interestingly, practical. Now, on top of this, of course, I'm in my flow. I'm flow dreaming around it. And I'm basically asking the universe and the flow over and over, show me what I need. Give me the answers. Lead me to the understanding. Lead me to the next step, to the next place. Show me. And maybe this is the most important point of all, because I would not have arrived at either of these two opening solutions had I not been able to ask and feel into my flow that first fundamental request. Show me how I can move through this. Flow, source, my life, my future. No problem comes without a solution. They always come in pairs. And if I'm not seeing the solution, guide me straight into it. And that is precisely what's happening. When you are a gorgeous creator, a painter of your life, you are always doing two things. You are working with non-physical, in your flow, creating, sculpting, feeling it, flow dreaming it, and then you are physically acting on it. You are always doing both sides of the coin. And even when you have to pick yourself back up, you will do both sides of the coin. So, this is my normal storytelling way of sharing with you the little journey. Maybe you have something that you're trying to pick yourself back up from. Maybe you're still in that space I was in where, what is the problem? Let yourself reach the answer. Ask in flow for the answers to show up. Once you understand them, as I identified mine, ask for the next. How can I fix this? What should I do? Show this to me as well. Because once I get that inspired feeling inside me, I'm going to do it. And we are back on track again. And we are taking those steps. Model this. It's a formula that works over and over and over. Flow dreaming alone is not going to, let's just say, drop all the gifts on your doorstep. Hard work alone is not going to drop all the gifts on your doorstep. But you do both together, and you've got this. So I want to wrap this up as one of my last episodes of the year, just by sharing and saying to all of you how much I adore you, how much I feel lucky, really lucky, that we've all been brought together. Your questions, your needs push me to continuously ask, what else do I need to learn, know, and seek? So thank you guys. Thank you so deeply from inside me all of me, for being here, part of my life, part of my journey. Even if you feel you're just a passive listener, you're not. In the world of energy, whenever two energies are coming together, whether they know it or not, they are still together, as we are. With that, I'm going to sign off with a quick reminder again, open the phone, download your 5 episodes right now, and leave a comment or review. Now, next show, we'll be returning more to normal. This was just your catch up and a little insight. Thanks for letting me share with you. Love you all, and I'll see you all again soon. Hi, my dears. Would you like to work with me privately, one-on-one? Because I would like to work with you. In fact, I usually have 1 or 2 spots open for this kind of deep, transformative one-on-one work with me. We go deep into you, your life, where you're going, where you've been, and what's holding you back. We'll spend hours together going into flow, where I personally lead you, guide you through the experience, guide you into the next step, into creating these custom crafted flow dreams just for you. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I have been doing this work for a long, long time. So I bring all of this knowledge, experience, both real world and practical in terms of going big, business building, whatever it is that you're trying to create, the deep simmering desire in your heart, I will help you get it into the world in a much, much bigger way than it is now. All it takes is you trusting yourself that you can do it, that we can do this together, and that it's going to be worth it to you to make this kind of inner investment in your life. Look, we're in a new decade. When is it going to happen for you? When is it going to be time for you to reach out and really give your extraordinary greatness into this world? If you're interested in becoming one of my private personal students, all you have to do is go to flowdreaming.com/coaching or send me an email, summer@flowdreaming.com. So if you're ready to really rock it out, go big, you've seen what I've done, you want to have a similar plan of your own to follow, then I am here for you in private coaching. I've got your back.